Hello, Internet. It is I, Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today, we're going to be talking about The Invitation. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros. Competition. It's just absolutely depressing. There's not been a single, like, well, I guess last weekend there was Dragon Ball Superhero, and, well, besides that, and Bullet Train, August has been pathetic. Absolutely abysmal. And because of that, and because of the fact that a lot of the movies that are out right now have been out for weeks, sometimes months, in the case of Top Gun Maverick. Yeah, people, like, options are very limited when it comes to like new content. And even if the movie sucks, like, if people are that desperate for new content, they will watch the new product even if it's trash. That's happened before, and it might happen again this weekend, maybe. But yeah, the competition being so abysmal now and definitely within the next month will definitely help this movie somewhat. So yeah, competition being abysmal, that's a pro. Another pro is the lack of direct competition. Last horror movie we got was Bodies. That came out 2 weeks ago. Didn't do all that great. The next horror movie coming out is Barbarian. That comes out 2 weeks from now. That the potential for that isn't much better than this. Then after that, I don't even know. Like, I think it's Halloween Kills. No, it's Smile. It's Smile. Then Halloween Ends. I keep mixing up kills and ends. I don't know why I do that. But yeah, like, but that Smile doesn't come out till late September, and Halloween Ends doesn't come out till mid October. So and Barbarian's not till 2 weeks from now. So this movie doesn't have to deal with any real direct competition for a while, which is only a good thing. So that's a pro. Uh, what other pros are there? God, I don't know if it. I mean, it's Thursday previews for a movie like this, considering it doesn't exactly have brand name recognition behind it, or like a notable director in the case of like a Jordan Peele. I mean, I guess this number is fine enough. I guess I'm struggling here. It's not horrible. It's not abysmal, but it's not great either. I guess I can compare it to other movies. I guess a movie I can compare this to would be Don't Breathe, which came out 6 years ago. I think the exact same weekend, or maybe the exact same day. Because I think it was the same day. Because the day's the 26th. I'm gonna check to make sure. Ugh. Don't breathe. There we go. Same day. Damn. That's crazy. So yeah, it's obvious, like, the timeline, the dates of 2016 and 2022 are linked here. Same dates, same weekends. So yeah, the dates are aligned now. Don't breathe. That, ooh, okay, that's not a great comparison. That had a 1.9 million preview number, and that led to a 26 million opening weekend. But the thing is, that movie had great word of mouth and a severe lack of competition. While the invitation has severe lack of competition, word of mouth, ooh, we'll talk about that when we get to the cons. But I don't know if this number is good or not. It probably isn't. But you know what? I'm struggling here. You know what? It's not even a pro or a con. It's just a middle ground. So its preview numbers are middle ground. Um, I think that's it for pros and middle ground stuff. Okay, cons. Reviews are bad. They're not rock bottom, but they're getting there. It's at 32%, which is not going to make anyone watch it. But what's even worse is its audience score. Its audience score is at 56%, which is really, really terrible because audiences tend to be more forgiving than critics. But when your score is that low, that's an indicator that audiences hate this movie. And it's also an indicator that's probably going to get like a D, F cinema score. That's not going to help anything. So it seems like from the critics side, audience side, word of mouth is trash, and that's not going to help. Well, it'll. What usually happens is that even with though a movie has like abysmal word of mouth, it might do well that one weekend, and then it just completely dies off after that. That has happened many, many, many times, and I feel like we're gonna see the same thing again here. So word of mouth bad. So that's an immediate big old con, a detrimental con. Another con is I don't know. I mean, this movie is a lot more interesting to say breaking, but some people will see those scores. But maybe there's other options out there. Maybe they'll watch an older movie because there's literally nothing else you can do. Maybe they'll watch Bullet Train or Dragon Ball or I don't know, Top Gun Maverick for the 15th time. Like all those options seem better than watching this apparently. So although competition is very old, it's still there, and it's likely more appealing than this, maybe. So yeah, I would consider that to be a con. Another con, I really think that's it. There's really not much to say about this movie. So yeah. I think well I guess another pro is that this movie has ads. Sony hasn't completely given up on it. Like, they're giving it somewhat of a chance to succeed. Emphasis on the word somewhat. um, but yeah, besides, I think that's it. I really think that's it. So, opening weekend, man, this is not going to reach 10 million. I don't see that happening at all. I mean, has a relatively wide theater count, over 3,000, but just because a movie has a wide theater count doesn't mean it's going to make all the money. All right, there's no guarantee of that. But it will likely do the best out of the three movies this weekend. But considering all three movies are going to do weak, that means nothing. So 10 million, I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be between probably a multiplier of 10, so between 7 and 8 a million opening weekend. In fact, even though and even with that number, that's probably going to be enough to win the weekend, which would really tell you how dire things are at the box office. But yeah, 7 to 8 million opening weekend. That's what I'm going with. It's total 15 to 20, unless this movie has just insane legs. Unless it pulls like a Ouija and has decent legs despite just an awful reputation. I see this movie being extremely front loaded. I see it dying after its first weekend, especially with how bad word of mouth is. But I could be wrong. But that's what I think is going to happen. So, yeah, that's the invitation. Now, there's one more movie to talk about this weekend, and that's the one movie that I actually want to watch 3,000 Years of Longing. So stay tuned for that. But anywho, yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn notifications, share the whole drill. We'll check out any of my other predictions. I got playlists on the homepage. I've covered like all the major-ish horror movies this year: Scream 5, Black Phone, Nope, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. There's a Firestarter. Is another one. What other ones are there? Crud. I know there's X is another one. Some really obscure ones. There's like Amma. There's was there any in April? I don't think there was. No, unless you want to consider Morbius a horror movie, which it is in a way. But or Jurassic World Dominion. Someone labeled that as a horror movie for all the wrong reasons. But if you want to watch any of those, you can go right ahead. And there's also the canceled series where I go over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. I covered this movie once, but it had a different name. It was originally called The Bride, and apparently it was changed because of test screenings with like male audiences. Like that's what I saw from like a, I didn't read the article, but that's like the title of the article. So I guess they wanted to change it to be more, I guess, gender neutral and not be like so like specific. Kind of like what Disney did with like Rapunzel, how they changed that to Tangled to not be so girlish, I guess. That's what I think. But the last time I talked about Bride, that was episode 94. I talked about that alongside Fast 10, Bullet Train, Where the Crawdads Sing, In Memory. So that's when I talked about it. So you want to watch that video, go right ahead. You want to watch any of the other 151 videos I've made on Canceled up to this point, binge it from beginning to now, go right ahead. Especially watch the most recent one where it involves a lot of Warner Brothers shenanigans because they clearly don't have enough. So you want to watch that or any others, go right ahead. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. August recap will come out in a week and a half from now, after Labor Day. And then after that, I'll do my two-part summer 2022 recap, winners and losers. So 3 videos coming in September. Stay tuned for those 3. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos I've done on the channel, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.